Hey guys, OmniGamer here, back on another video, and I'm doing another collection video for you guys. And today, I'm going to be showing off my Sega Mega Drive game collection. What can you really say about the Sega Mega Drive, aka Sega Genesis? That hasn't really been said before. I mean, it's one of the most iconic game systems ever in history, and has one of the best libraries of any game system as well. I mean, some of the best games of all time are on the system. You know, you've got the Sonic games, you've got Streets of Rage, you know, you've got like Shinobi, Golden Axe, you know, Disney's Aladdin, RoboCop vs. Terminator, you know, just to name a few. You know, I mean, there's so many amazing games for the Mega Drive, and quite a lot of them still hold up to this day. And you'll notice that my collection isn't particularly big. That's because I've only had my own Mega Drive for only about a couple of years now. I got it for Christmas. So over here, actually, I got a Model 2 Sega Mega Drive, as you can see, and it even came with the original box, which is in here. Yeah, check this out. This thing's bloody massive. But yeah, it came with the original box, came with 2 controllers. I think the original like RF lead. Let's open it up actually, just for the sake of it. And it's even got the original price sticker on it as well. And someone paid £100 for this at one point. See if I can get this thing open. I think you have to do it from the other side. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. I've got the original instruction manual in there. God, it smells like someone's loft in here, man. Jeez. It's got that distinctive old smell to it. But yeah, they've got the original manual. Yeah, the RF lead. It's completely pointless because I've got like composite cables for the Mega Drive. This bag is what the actual system came in. And yeah, it came with 2 controllers, the original power cable. So really cool to have the you know, original Mega Drive box. But yeah, I would display it, but it is absolutely massive and I just simply don't have the room for it. But yeah, so that's the Mega Drive that I got a couple Christmases ago. And yeah, and these are all the games that I've brought for it ever since. Alright, so let's start things off with the EA Strike Trilogy. I've got all 3 games right here. So starting off, here's the first one, Desert Strike, Return to the Gulf. Probably one of the most iconic third-party games for the Mega Drive by EA back in '92. Yeah, all the Strike games are pretty good. You know, you play as a little helicopter and it plays like an isometric angle. Yeah, it's too bad EA hasn't done anything with this franchise for over like 25 years at this point. And this one's complete. There's the manual, which is only in black and white. Of course, EA games for the Mega Drive are known for having the distinct cartridge shape. You know, you've got the little yellow tab there on the side. Yeah, and other companies did that as well, and I know Accolade did it as well. And yeah, some of the third parties had their own like why is this not shutting? Yeah, they had their own like different shaped cartridges. But yeah, so that's the first Strike game. And then here's the second one, Jungle Strike, the sequel to Desert Strike. So yeah, kind of more the same, but this one takes place in more like obviously jungle environments. And there's also like some other vehicles that you can also use as well. I haven't gotten that far in the game, to be honest, to where you use like the bike or like the hovercraft or whatever. I haven't made it that far, but yeah, still a really solid game though. This is the only box Mega Drive game I have that doesn't have a manual, sadly. I need to buy one at some point. And in fact, I actually need to get a new case for this in general because one of the bits of plastic is actually ripped off on here, so it doesn't like it doesn't shut properly. Yeah, I might just have to buy like a whole another copy of Jungle Strike, to be honest. And then the last of the Strike Trilogy is Urban Strike, sequel to Jungle Strike. This one might be either this or Desert Strike's probably my favorite. I think I like the music the most in this one. All 3 have like really awesome opening intro themes, but I think Urban Strike's one might be my favorite. But yeah, this one's complete as well. There it is. I just bought the manual for this the other day, actually. I initially only bought just the loose cart. I got it for like a $5 at a car boot sale. And then about a year later, I bought the case off eBay. And then just recently, I also bought the manual off eBay as well. So yeah, so the whole thing I had to piece together, you know. I got it all separately. So yeah, I'll put that back properly in a minute. But yeah, this one's in really good condition, which I'm really happy about. Then we have, of course, the games that define the Mega Drive. The Sonic games. Now, I don't have all of them. I am trying to get a full set of all the Sonics for the Mega Drive, and I want to have them all complete in box. I do have most of them. The only ones I'm missing are Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, and Sonic Compilation. So I'm only missing those 3. Of course, starting off with the absolutely iconic original Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, this game's over 33 years old now. It celebrated its anniversary last month. And yeah, got that complete in box. Of course, this is the most essential game for the Mega Drive. If you own a Mega Drive, you have to have Sonic 1 by law, you know. And even though the sequels are better, the first Sonic, at least in my opinion, is still a really, really solid game. Like one of the best 2D platformers of its era, for sure. Then we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, probably my favorite Mega Drive game of all time. This and Streets of Rage 2. Like, what else can I say about it? This is probably, in my opinion, the best 2D platformer of all time. Like, point blank period. I know people probably debate in the comments, like saying like, oh no, like Super Mario World or whatever is better, but in my opinion, no 2D platformer is better than Sonic 2, man. This game is just still a masterpiece and holds up incredibly well to this day, you know. I mean, there are games that are way newer than this that haven't aged as well. But yeah, that's complete as well. Alright, then we have the first Sonic spin-off game, Sonic Spinball. This was obviously the pinball game that had like some light platformer elements to it. I wasn't really the biggest fan of this game, but you know, still really cool to have for the collection. Even got the original Sega sticker on the side there. And yeah, that was complete as well. All right, and then this one I just got today, Sonic 3. Yeah, obviously this is just part 1 of a much bigger game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic and Knuckles is probably the next game I'm going to try and get for the Mega Drive collection, because like I said, I do want to get all the Sonics, but that game is really, really expensive. This one's quite expensive as well, like usually like 40, 50 pounds complete in box. But yeah, Sonic and Knuckles is not only really expensive, but trying to find that game in good condition is quite hard as well, because Sonic and Knuckles only came in a cardboard case rather than the plastic ones that like all other Mega Drive games come in. So usually like when you find copies of that online, like the cardboard inside usually like destroyed mostly, or it's like all creased up and stuff. But yeah, so that one's gonna be a pain in the ass to get, but obviously I'm going to need it for the collection. And yeah, this is complete as well. I haven't tested it out yet, but I definitely will. You know, Sonic 3 is also another really, really good game. In my opinion, not as good as 2, but still really, really solid. It's probably like my second favorite Sonic game. Sonic 2, by the way, is my favorite Sonic game, like point blank period. And yeah, Sonic 3 is probably like my second favorite. I just absolutely love this game. And this next one here is quite an interesting one, actually. Virtua Racing. Yeah, this was the port of the game that was considered like completely impossible at the time, and it kind of was if it wasn't for the SVP chip, which was basically Sega's answer to the Super FX chip. So the SVP chip basically allowed the Mega Drive to do you know, flat shaded polygons, which otherwise without it, you know, the Mega Drive wouldn't have been capable of doing it. So yeah, that was the only way they were able to get this game to run. And it's a really, really impressive port, you know, I mean, all things considered. I mean, I know it's better on the Sega 32X, you know, the Virtua Racing Deluxe, but still, considering this is running on the Mega Drive, it's an incredibly impressive port. Really expensive game as well when it initially first came out. Like, this game was like over $100 when it first released because of the SVP chip. Nowadays, you can get it like pretty cheap. Like, I got my copy for like £14, I think, complete in box. And mine's in really like mint condition pretty much, you know. Again, Sega stick on the side. Really, really good condition copy of the game. And yeah, this one has like a really funky looking cartridge. I mean, just look at that. It's just absolutely huge. But yeah, got that complete. And yeah, and this game is more like a curiosity more than anything. I mean, it's not a great game, to be honest, and there's like very little content to it. But again, considering like it's running on a Mega Drive, I mean, it is just honestly a miracle. So yeah, it's worth having just for the spectacle of it alone. But yeah, so that's all my complete in box Mega Drive games. Now let's quickly talk about the loose cart ones I have here. I got a few compilation carts. So this one here is called Mega Game 6. This one's got, it's kind of hard to tell because of the ripped label, but I think the top game is World Cup Italian 90, if I remember correctly. And it's got Super Monaco GP, the original Streets of Rage, the Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and the original Golden Axe. I've had this for a really, really long time. I remember buying this at a car boot sale, like when I was really young, back in like 2012, I think. So yeah, so I've had this in my collection for forever, pretty much. And I also got this one as well at that same car boot sale, which I think this is Mega Game 6 Volume 3 or something. Again, if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is a different version of Mega Game 6 that has different games. So this one's got Sega Soccer, Columns, Super Monaco GP, Revenge of Shinobi, Sonic 1, and Streets of Rage 1. But yeah, but moving on. Next, we have another one of my favorites for the Mega Drive. We have Vector Man, one of the later release games for the Mega Drive. Quite a difficult game as well. and a really, really kick-ass soundtrack. You know, I absolutely love Vector Man. It's an absolutely amazing game. And then I've also got the sequel here as well, Vector Man 2. Now you'll notice that this is a Genesis copy of the game and not Mega Drive. And that's because this game only came out in North America, where the Mega Drive was known as the Genesis. The first game we did get here in the UK, but we didn't get the second one, unfortunately. This was a really, really late release. November of 96. You know, at that point, the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation was already out, and even the N64 was already out at that point. This was kind of like the last big first-party game for the Mega Drive, pretty much. This and Virtua Fighter 2. And this does actually work on a Power Mega Drive, by the way, which is kind of surprising, considering it's a US game. But yeah, this one wasn't cheap to get, though. It's cost me like 25 quid for just a loose cart. I really want to own it because I love both the Vector Man games, you know. All right, and the last game here technically isn't a Mega Drive game. Still wanted to include it anyway, and that is Doom for the 32X. So yeah, this is the only Sega 32X game I own. And as you can see, the 32X cartridges do look similar to the Mega Drives, but they are different in a lot of ways. That you can't just like plop this into a Mega Drive because it won't fit. The 32X was obviously the infamous failed add-on for the Mega Drive. Doom was one of the launch titles for the 32X, and it was a pretty decent port, all things considered. You know, this was one of the very first console ports of Doom. I don't have a 32X, which sucks, so I can't even like test this out to see if it works. One of these days, I'd like to get a 32X. Maybe more games if I can. They're all really expensive, but you know, I mainly bought this, you know, because it was cheap. It was like 15 quid. You're never going to find a 32X game that cheap. So I was like, yeah, why not pick it up? So yeah, that's my Sega Mega Drive collection, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and peace. I shall see you guys in the next video. And until then, take care now.